Shining ones, skills on the platform. Listen, this is the weekly oracle read for our earth signs. All right, that is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. All right, what came out for you guys this week is Raku. Now, Raku is used in attunement as well as in individual healing. All right, it actually helps lift negative energy while taking the student into awareness. All right, so earth signs, speaking about awareness, right? You could tend to not be fully aware of the decisions that you possibly make, not aware of your surroundings at times, and really miss out on something that could have been very beneficial to you. Okay, now we all, of course, none of us are perfect. We all tend to make mistakes, but nonetheless, life is all about learning. And if we're not learning on a consistent basis, we really got to consider ourselves. What are we really doing if we're not actually learning something? If we know everything, then you should be in a place where everything that you want, need, desire is literally at your beckoning call or at your fingertips already. Right? Come on now, we got to be real with ourselves. If we was better aware of things, our surroundings, we would be able to capitalize on it on a consistent basis, right? So with the symbol coming out for our earth signs is being more aware of your surroundings, aware of yourself, aware of the decisions that we make, which ultimately makes us better, right? I mean, personally, I don't see why anyone wouldn't want better in their life. But people are under different arrangements, per se, with other people, beings, entities, right? People tend to do things because they feel that it's necessary to do, when in actuality it really wasn't necessary. But they felt it was necessary, so you can't really, in a sense, kind of knock someone for making certain decisions in their life, right? Just moving along here. Now, it helps lift negative energy while taking the student into awareness. Raku brings energy in through the body's chi channels, the meridians. I would suggest you look that up if you want further details. I'm not going to get into that on this video. All right, but meridians, all right, pranic pathways, which is your breathing airways, things that bring oxygen throughout your body, arteries. Okay, so these are certain points in the body, just to kind of go into just a little bit, but points in the body where it actually relieves stress, anxiety, what a lot of people are dealing with today. Okay, so being aware, once again, of these points and parts of within yourself. Okay, being more aware of self, just being more aware all around. Now, it is also used at the end of attunement to help separate the master from the student after the session is complete. When Raku appears in your card, you are being asked to consciously and subconsciously lift negative influences and energies from your life. Okay? So, once again, lifting negative influences and energies, okay, consciously and subconsciously from your life. Okay? So, essentially, these particular energies, right? These influences, people, places, friends, family members, are they really benefiting you in a way where you can grow not only financially, also spiritually? Okay? There's two aspects of people and humans, right? We're spiritual and we're physical, right? So you can't just focus on the physical and neglect the spiritual side of yourself, right? So there's, once again, it goes within being aware of yourself. Not only aware of yourself, because when you're more aware of yourself, you're more aware of your surroundings. That way you're able to move, right, accordingly on a day-to-day basis. When you move accordingly, you move with a purpose, you tend to get things done versus just moving haphazardly, right? What kind of benefit you're getting just getting up and then going and not necessarily having an actual plan in place. Now, there are people who have plans in place, right? They have negative plans where they plan to go out and destroy and cause destruction, right? At least they have a plan, right? Even though it may not, you may not agree with certain people's plans that they have for the day, but nonetheless, they have a plan. In a lot of cases, they're better off than someone who doesn't have a plan at all, even though they're pursuing negativity, right? Being more aware. Now, of course, and also it even goes even further, the influences, right? We can talk about the subconsciously and conscious just a second, but the influences of others around you. Once again, people who are around you, are they helping you to become better, an all-around person? Are they just pacifying your flesh and just telling you things that necessarily it's not benefiting you? This goes for men and women, period. We could be around a certain group of men or women for that matter, and they don't mean us well, right? Is there a balance between the friendship? Is there an understanding that you both have some things in common? Not only that, are we practicing, demonstrating on how we're gonna benefit one another? It tends to be one-sided in a lot of situations where one person is benefiting more than the other. If one person is benefiting more than the other, there's a problem within that relationship, situationship, whatever these different type of relationships are today, right? It doesn't matter what type it is, but if there's not a balance, if there's not a give and take between the two, where no one's feel that they're being taken advantage of in some way, shape, or form, is it healthy or is it unhealthy? That's the question, right? Awareness. This is the topic. This is the energy for our earth signs, is to be more aware. Now, taking it to a conscious and a subconscious level, right? It's been said that subconsciously, people make decisions on a subconscious level. It's something that's already, should I say, for lack of better words, engraved within them to be able to move a certain way and make certain decisions in a certain way and think a certain way, right? For example, if you grew up from a child, up until 18, and you were taught that wearing the color red is going to put you in a lustful energy, just an example, right? You're going to grow up with that particular understanding that that's the benefit of red. That's the kind of energy red puts you in, and so on and so forth. There's so many different examples I can come up with, right? But it's not necessary. So when the scriptures even teach this, raise a child in the way to go and they'll never stray, right? They may stray a bit, but they always come back to it. Okay? So that's that subconscious, deep ingrained knowledge or understanding of something that you actually carry on throughout your adult years, right? Unless you find that it's not beneficial to you, and then you'll can it and take on other ideologies. Now, on the conscious level, it's you should be making certain decisions. You should be doing certain things, but subconsciously you don't. Subconsciously you do it, right? Because that's the inner programming. Even though you shouldn't steal, as an example, right? But you've been stealing since you were young. You were taught how to steal since you were a youth. So you've been doing it since you were young. As you get older, it's just a natural thing for you to do. When you see something, you just might steal it. Even though you might buy something on one hand, but you turn around and steal this on the other hand. Right? So that's a conscious in a lot of cases, but then it's a subconscious thing because it's something that's been programmed as a youth to steal, as an example, right? Let's move on. When recruit appears in your cards, you are being asked to consciously and subconsciously lift negativity, influences, and energies from your life. This can be something as small as kind words to another person or random acts of kindness each day. Once again, you may just perform random acts of kindness each day, right? When you lift negativity from your life, you invite positivity to fill that space. Right, so if you're around people that's negative, you're continuously doing negative activity, people wonder why their life is not the way it should be or the way they would expect it to be. Listen, you can't run around slapping people all day and not think you're going to get slapped back. You can't go around thinking you're going to rob people all day, every day, and not eventually get robbed or killed messing with the wrong person. Right? You can't expect to be out here doing ill activity and not expect someone to call you out on your activity. We don't have to get into any details, but we understand this as adults. Common understanding, but common understanding and knowledge is not prevalent in a lot of people. So, but this is the point of this video. This is the point of this oracle read, right? To give people a certain type of awareness, right? That's the key word for today, is awareness. Right. Giving you some type of awareness beyond your scope. Okay? That's all this really is. When you lift negativity from your life, you invite positivity to fill that space. Raku's energy is both immediate and powerful, and it calls you to shift the conscious thoughts of your atmosphere to positivity, affects change for yourself, your environment, and those surrounding you. Okay? Right. So, into conclusion, we want to have a certain understanding, right? A certain, um, you know, level of our auric field to expand, to be able to be more aware. Because think of it like this, right? How do some people know when something's getting ready to happen, or people tend to get out of a situation at the right time, or they're moving in a certain way where they were able to avoid something, right? There is definitely something subconscious going on, right? Then on the conscious level, it's like, you know what you've been doing. If you like I said, once again, if you've been around, running around town, doing, fighting people and just getting into, random acts of violence, or, you know, just running around town and sleeping with everybody's, girl, or females running around sleeping with every woman's guy. You can't expect, you gotta expect that something's gonna come back, your awareness. So and if you're not aware of what you're doing, you will run into a situation that you really can't handle. So just some food for thought. People need to think about it. Earth signs, awareness. All right. So that's the key word for the earth signs for this week, is to be more aware. That way it takes you further. You make better decisions. You improve your way of living and thinking. All right. But we're going to go ahead and end it there. I went a little over, but this is for our earth signs. Peace.